Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to six, and the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet Buick in Paris, Kentucky, the second largest used car franchise dealer in the United States of America. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. Today is Tuesday, August 28th. Tuesday, August 28th, 2018. The first and the last time it'll ever be Tuesday, August 28th, 2018. And I got to tell you guys, yesterday I was scared to death. Yesterday I was scared to death. I literally was. But yesterday was interesting because my wife and I, we actually stumbled upon a problem that we didn't really know existed. You see, I spent the whole day yesterday with my wife and my son, Joel Bryant. It was just the three of us, and what we did is we basically we went to Cincinnati, the three of us. We went to Cincinnati Childrens Hospital, and the reason that we had to go to Cincinnati Children's Hospital is my son has been showing some kind of strange motor tics, right? Since it started last March, and then it kind of went away, and then it came back this past March. He has some just different things that he does with his body. He does some shoulder shrugs, and he does some arm flaps, and he does kind of some stuff with his neck. He does some strange things with his feet, right? And so he kind of has all these different motor tics that have become a concern of ours. They'd become a concern of ours because we were just wondering, what's going on? It's been going on for a while now. It's gotten worse. We'd gone to his doctor, to the doctor with him a few times to get him checked out, and just not real sure what was going on. So, the fear had started to kick in, the fear, and, you start asking yourself, what's this going to look like in the future, and does he have Tourette's, and does he, is there something wrong with his brain? All this fear stuff starts kicking in, right? And then the guilt starts kicking in, all this guilt, what did we do? Maybe it's our fault. Maybe we treated him wrong. Maybe we yelled at him when we shouldn't have. Maybe we're not raising him right. Maybe, you start just feeling all this guilt as a parent. And there's just so much uncertainty when you run into situations like these, right? So, here we are. We're thinking, well, we'll take him up to Cincinnati, and they can help diagnose him, and we can figure out what the problem is. But what was crazy is, in the entire experience, it turns out there was a completely different problem than was on our radar. There was a completely different problem that we hadn't even thought about, you see. So we went up there, and we met with this doctor, super kind doctor, right? He's real gentle. He's real warm. Dude's a pro. The dude's a pro, and he runs these different tests on my son. He's like, okay, touch your fingers. He's got my son, going back and forth through the fingers. He's doing different things like that. He's testing all my son. He's tapping on his knees, and he's making sure his knees work. He's making sure his arms work. He's making sure his eyes work. It looks like he's doing a drunk test, right? Some of you hopefully don't know, but when you're doing these DUI tests, they make you follow with your eyes and all this other stuff, right? So he's doing all this stuff with my son. And I'm watching, he's checking his cognitive functions. He's doing all this stuff, and the kid's perfect, man. The kid is nailing every single test, right? He's nailing it with flying colors. Absolutely no problem. So the doctor, it's a matter of minutes before the doctor, looks at us and is like, there's nothing wrong with this kid. There's nothing wrong with this kid's brain. Yes, he's got some simple motor tics. It's developmental. He may grow out of them. He may not. But the kid's brain is spot on. There's nothing this kid can't do. And so we walked out of there and spent the rest of the day together. We went to the mall. We talked about some things. And I spent some time with my wife. And I got to tell you, I got to tell you, there was a different problem yesterday. There was a different problem yesterday that I realized, and I'm going to dive into all of that here in just a second and some things that I learned from that. Also some strategies that I learned that we can all apply. But first, before we get into all of that, let's dance. Y'all feel like dancing? Let's do some dancing real quick. Come on. Let's get the music going up in here. Let's get this energy going right. Yeah, you hear that? Okay, I hear that. Yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. About to kick in. Let's go. Let's go. Hey, guys. This is the point of the show. That's right. This is the point of the show where we're going to get the energy right. We're going to start getting everything flowing. I hope you got your coffee. I hope that if you're a coffee drinker, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready for me to bring the energy. Hope you're ready for me to bring the fire. This is also a part of the show where I need you guys to go and hit that share button if you haven't done it already. Because I believe that we can change this planet if we can change the way that people start their day. And that starts by you hitting that share button. That's where it starts. So hit the share button. And lastly, this is the part of the show where I say good morning to you. And you say good morning to me. And let's connect on a way that we can only do today in Facebook on hashtag Rise and Grind. Good morning, Mike Brockway. How are you? Terrell Lake, good morning. What's up, AJ Anderson? Good to see you, my friend. Tom Russell, Chuck Miller, here live on the 530. I love it. Heather Wes Tillery. Hi, Heather. It's great to see you. Good morning, Charlie McHale. My man, Aaron Jones. Chad Arnold and Mark Miller, good morning. Susan Rose, good morning. Mr. Scott Simons the Machine, good morning. Vicki Everett and Mindy Parker. Leslie Scott and Andrea Ramirez, good morning, good morning. What's up, Carrie Osborne, good morning. Mr. Sean Hayes, good morning on your day off, sir. I'm glad you love Tuesdays. Good morning, Michael Jasper. What's up, Miss Eliza? Eliza's in here from Valley Group. I love it. Good morning, Bambi and Ricky and Lynn and Andrea and Jeffrey Lee Parton and Sterling Leach and everybody else that's up in here this morning on hashtag Rise and Grind. It's going to be an incredible day today, guys. I got a great show for you. I hope you're ready, man. I hope you're ready. Check it out. All right, we're going to kill the music real quick. You guys done? Everybody done? All right, let's do it. And I love my technology. It's neat. All right, check it out. Let's take a look at my son real quick. I want to take a look at my son. I want you guys to take a look at this kid. All right? This kid right here, this is Joel Bryant Lundy. All right? He's a force to be reckoned with. This kid right here is fearless. He's absolutely fearless. There's absolutely no challenge he won't take on. He loves catching bugs and spiders and grasshoppers, and he loves playing baseball, and he wants to play football, and he plays basketball. The kid is carefree, utterly carefree, and he's super smart, dude. He's like so super smart. It's crazy. And the kid's really, really strong. He's strong and he's healthy. He does handstands. He walks on his hands. He's in dance class. He does all this stuff. He can break dance. And what I love most about this kid is he's so proud to be a Lundy. I mean, he wants to be just like his daddy. The kid is so proud to be a Lundy, man. And so, you know, he's got these motor skill issues. He's got this stuff going on with his body, and this stuff scared me. And yesterday I spent all day with him, and I just watched him. I just watched him all day, and I talked to him all day, and we had conversations all day. And I got to tell you something right now. There's nothing, absolutely nothing on this planet that my son cannot do. So why? This is the question I had to ask myself when I got home last night. Why am I so focused on this kid's flaws, man? Why am I so focused on his flaws? Right? And why do we do this to ourselves as human beings? Why do we dial in on the things that we lack? That's the problem I realized from yesterday. We went to Cincinnati. We went to a doctor. We got diagnosed. And what I realized is that the problem wasn't my son's motor skills. It's not a problem. The problem is that me, as a parent, I wasn't looking at all the things that my son could do. I was looking at a couple little quirky things that he's got going on with his body, a couple little quirky things that are maybe a little bit different than normal. And I was looking at his quirks. I was looking at his imperfections. I was looking at them as flaws. I was literally causing myself grief and guilt, thinking that my son was flawed, when in reality, he's perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the kid at all. So that's the question I have for you today, and that's what I want to free you from today. Today, I want you to say, so what? That's what I want you to say. So what? Today, I want to give you permission to be perfectly imperfect. My good friend Sean Hayes talks about this often. He talks about how your imperfections are actually what makes you perfect. It's what makes you who you are, is those imperfections. It's what makes us unique. It's what makes us different. It's what makes us special. Sean talks about it often. But I thought about it, man. Golly, we were so dialed in. And I mean, for months, my wife and I have been questioning, what is wrong with this kid? Is there something wrong with this kid? What's life going to be like if he's got all these issues, right? All of these things. And yesterday, this doctor, this professional, looks at my son, and within moments, he can see all the things that my son is doing right. He can see all of the things that make my son perfect and amazing. And so I had to smack myself in the face yesterday and say, Glenn Lundy, stop it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop focusing on the things that we maybe lack, the areas that are maybe different. Stop focusing on perfection and instead say, so what?
They said I couldn't. They said I wouldn't. They said they didn't believe in me. They said I couldn't because of my circumstances. I couldn't because of my past. Because it hadn't been done before. I said, so what? You can complain and remain the same, or you can decide, commit, and work towards becoming someone that no one thought you could be. You can make all the excuses in the world. We've heard them all. But those that get on in life leave the excuses and look for the possibilities. You might have had it tough. You might have had it real tough. But it ain't getting any better if you live there. You have to drop the little story and work towards your masterpiece. You see it so often. Stories of those with almost identical painful life circumstances. One chooses to live in the pain forever, repeating the reasons why they can't succeed, why they can't move on. The other uses the pain as their reason why they must change. They use their pain as strength. They use the people who don't believe in them as motivation to succeed, not a reason why they can't. When things don't go their way, they don't say, why me? They say, so what? They say, try me. When things don't go their way, they keep moving forward.
Your family isn't perfect. So what? You failed in your past. So what? You didn't get to go to college. So what? You don't know where to start. So what? Someone did wrong by you. So what?
Most people seem to think that life is against them somehow. Very few understand life is challenging. That is all. I accept life's challenge. I plan to work on myself so I can win. Not just one day, but every day. So what they don't believe in you? You don't need them to believe in you. They're not doing the work. You are. They're not growing and learning. You are. They're not committed to your dream. You are. They're not in love with your vision. You are. They don't define your success. You do. They don't decide if you will put in the work required to make it. You do.
Nobody gets a perfect life. Every one of us face different challenges. That is life. You're not punishing anyone but yourself with your excuses. You're holding yourself back. No one else. You choose. Be the victim or the victor. You choose to be the one who gave up because of their problems, or the one who succeeded despite their challenges. You choose. Successful people don't always feel like it. They do it anyway. Take the first step. Get some momentum. Don't ever stop working for your dream. If you really want it, you will plan for it. If you really want it, you will work for it. If you really want it, you will sacrifice for it.
So what life hasn't gone as planned? It doesn't for anyone. All the pain, that's in the past. Do you want to drag it into your future too? You have that choice. You can remain the victim and live in the pain for the rest of your days. Or you can drop it like a hot potato and move on with your life. Leave the pain behind and focus on building your future full of possibilities, full of growth. Push yourself. Surprise yourself. See how far you can go with your life.
So what? So what? The kid's got a few tics, man. So what? He didn't care. He didn't care. I'm so thankful that we went up there to the Cincinnati Childrens Hospital and they reassured us that my son is perfect. I am so thankful for that. I am also so thankful that by experiencing that yesterday, by going with my son and my wife and experiencing that day yesterday, I was able to realize that we got to quit focusing on lack. We got to quit focusing on the things that we can't do. We got to quit thinking about where we didn't come from, the challenges. We got to quit focusing on that. So what? So what, man? Seriously, Joel didn't care. He's sitting up there playing 3DS the whole time. The whole time we're in the doctor, he didn't care. They give him a test. He's like, boom, 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 I passed the test. He doesn't care. So today I want you to say, so what? I want you to say, so what? I also want to share something with you guys really important this morning before we get off of here. I've been listening to an audio book. The book's called Peak Performance by Brad Stolberg and Steve Magnus. I want you guys to check this book out. It's called Peak Performance. It's a powerful book. It's already been a life-changing book to me. It's a book written by a couple guys that were peak performers. They reached their peak and they fizzled out. So they decided to study other peak performers from around the world and find out, what is the perfect way to perform at your best. It's an incredible, incredible book. There was one story that I took away from it that was really interesting that I'll share with you this morning. There was one story they went and talked to a doctor that is like this doctor performs at the highest level, right? The absolute highest level this doctor performs. He writes articles. He has a thriving business. He does speeches and helps other doctors. He does all this stuff, but he's also at home every single night. He's also at home every single night with his family every night, and he doesn't miss any events on the weekend. And so they were like, well, how do you have all this massive level of success, but you seem to have a nice time balance between your family and so on and so forth? And it really came down to his ability to single task versus multitasking, single tasking, really dialing in on what he had in front of him and blocking off blocks of time. And it's really, really neat, right? It's really, really neat. And it went into our cell phones and the problems we have with our cell phones and the addictive ways that cell phones can kind of mess with your doing and so on and so forth. And so I want to tell you, yesterday I did something I've never done before. Yesterday, while I was with my wife and with my kid on our way to Cincinnati, I turned my phone off. I turned it off. I completely turned my phone off because they say it's one thing to turn your phone on vibrate and set it to the side, but we're still antsy for it. We're still addicted to it, right? The dopamine of the notification and the likes and the comment. So I turned my phone completely off. My wife was shocked. She was like, "What is wrong? What did you do with my husband?" Because I turned my phone completely off. And I can tell you something. When I did that, I felt so empowered. I felt free. I felt lighter. I felt fully engaged with my wife and my son. I felt aware of the experience and everything that we were sharing yesterday. My relationship with my wife and my son was stronger because I turned that dang phone off, man. It was amazing. And my mom's cousin, she came into town, Mickey. We haven't seen her. I haven't seen her since I was like 6 years old. And last night I put the phone away and we talked, and it was nice. And there was no phone. And I asked her lots of questions, and I got to know her a little bit better. And I showed her that I was genuinely interested in getting to know her and her husband on a different level. And it was super cool. And it was really, really nice. What a concept, man. What a concept. So I just wanted to share that with you. If you get a chance, listen to that audiobook because it's stinking awesome. It's really, really awesome. But ultimately, what I wanted you to take away from today is I want you to focus on what you and others in your life can do, not what we can't do. We got to stop focusing on these things that we consider lack. We have to stop thinking that these things that we consider flaws, because I'm here to tell you, so what? So what? I don't care. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what problems you got going on in your world right now. So what? That doesn't mean that you can't be this incredibly amazing, impactful human being. Because listen to me. You are a child of God. Do you understand? You are a child of God, the God of the universe. He made you uniquely to be the absolute best version of you that you can possibly be. And you're working on that. You're doing that. You're becoming that person. And in doing so, you've joined this group, right? This elite group of people that we're choosing every day to rise and grind, and we're choosing to fill the feeds with positivity. So you're making these posts and these comments, and you're sharing, and you become a part of a community, and all of your posts and your videos and that positive energy, it truly is making an impact on this planet. It's making an impact on your friends, on your family members, on your coworkers, on everyone around you, and it's making an impact on me. It is. And I, for one, I so absolutely love you for it. I do. I love you. If no one's told you that yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely love you. So if you need more videos just like this, go to GlennLundy.com. If you need some rise and grind gear so you can remind yourself every day of this elite group that you're a part of, go to GlennLundy.com. By the way, I've got some $10 rise and grind shirts up there right now. If you haven't got your tickets yet to Hustle and Grind Con, go to GlennLundy.com. And most importantly, will you please come back here tomorrow? Come back tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. And we'll do this all over again on #Rise and Grind. Have an amazing, tremendous, over-the-top, phenomenal day today. Just do it. Just make today your day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. #Rise and Grind.